Day to day. Tune in every Friday, man. We here. Talk about it. You got something to say, I wanna talk about it. It's the day-to-day podcast, let's talk about it. Get it off your chest if you trying to talk about it. Day to day. Tune in every Friday, man. We here. Talk about it. You got something to say, I wanna talk about it. It's the day-to-day podcast, let's talk about it. Get it off your chest if you trying to talk about it. Day to day. Tune in every Friday, man. We here.
The ones who say they
talk about it. You got something to say, I wanna talk about it. It's the day-to-day podcast, let's talk about it. Get it off your chest if you trying to talk about it. Day to day. Tune in every Friday, man. We here. Talk about it. You got something to say, I wanna talk about it. It's the day-to-day podcast, let's talk about it. Get it off your chest if you trying to talk about it. Day to day. Tune in every Friday, man. We here. Talk about it. You got something to say, I wanna talk about it. It's the day-to-day podcast, let's talk about it. Get it off your chest if you trying to talk about it.
What's good, my people? What's good, y'all? We turn this off.
Day to day. Tune in every Friday, man. We here.
What's going on, y'all? Good evening. Happy Friday.
Log on, like, share, and subscribe to Day-to-Day Podcast.
Yeah, before we even get started.
Comments. We want to get you there.
Exactly. Before we even get started, we most definitely appreciate y'all. If y'all go to YouTube, subscribe, like, and share. It's free 99. Free 99. All right. So let's get into this topic. We want to talk about tonight. Let me tag some people real quick. We want to talk about, should your ex, significant other, male or female, should their significant other whoop your child if they tell you to? That's what we talk about. If they give you permission to do it. Who want to start off with that?
I'll start off with it.
Go ahead. Let's go.
Well, it depends on the relationship that you got going on with the individual. If y'all bond is tight like that, and she know your kids like you know your kids. So I say that to say, like, you know how your kids are and how they can be. How they can be loud, obnoxious, jumping off furniture, run around, cussing, be on the game, playing the game real hard, getting into it, cussing whoever out on the game. Like, you know that type of stuff. You know your child. You know what I mean? Whether you got a child that like to pee on itself all the goddamn time, don't like to go to the bathroom. You know your child. You know what I mean? Like, you know, if you got a nosy little child that like rambling, grabbing stuff ain't got no business grabbing. All kids grab it. But some of them might grab your smoke. You run around with your smoke in their hand. You know what I'm saying? You just never know because you leave stuff laying around. So I say that to say, yeah, I give my significant other time to go ahead and chastise them when I'm not there.
But discipline comes in different ways. You can give them permission to discipline, but I mean, when we say
saying whoop.
Whooping. Oh, whoop that ass. Whoop that.
physically putting your hands on your child, I mean,
That's
I
what
don't
this is
think
whoop.
it's right because
Okay, so-
at the end of the
No,
day,
I ain't gonna say whoop them. I say you can make them like stand in the corner.
yeah, you can
Hold a couple
discipline them. I
books.
think that's you gotta discipline a child. You can't let them run amok. But whooping them, putting your hands on them, and that's not your child.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that not everybody, but some men will tell the baby mama, whoever they with, to whoop the child just to get under the baby mama's skin. No, because they got an animosity with that baby mama though, or the baby daddy. It go both ways where they'll tell that person to put their hands on that child just to get under the other person's skin, so they won't have to get that. They're gonna get it, but they gonna let that go with like them two arguing because that's weak shit, right? Because at the end of the day, I feel should nobody ever put their hands on my child at all. What he need to do if he's not there, because he wasn't there, what he need to do is say, okay, well, I will talk to her, get her when I get home, and when I call her mama, right? Yeah. Because some people can't have those conversations with the baby mamas and stuff like that, because it might be situations where that person's just a rude person, you can't get along with her or whatever. So he might not be able to do that, but at the end of the day, somebody got to be the peaceful one, because if you whooping a child and you the girlfriend or the wife, that ain't peaceful. That's drama. Like, you supposed to, I feel that person's supposed to bring that peace in there. You tell him, okay, she was doing this, doing that, I checked her, but I'm gonna wait until you get here and I'm gonna need you to call and talk to the mama, and we gonna all sit down and talk.
I think the man, when they do that, they want the woman to be the bad guy, because
that's what I just
Yeah,
said.
they want the child to just like you as being the stepmother or the girlfriend.
Man, I need to
or
call that.
because they can do it themselves. I don't care if you there or not. At the end of the day, if you are an adamant parent in that child's life, I don't see no reason why you feel like you could tell gonna whoop his ass or whoop her ass. You know what I mean? Come when they get home, then it's a conversation that needs to be had. So, you get what I'm saying?
So it really depends, because I was a step parent, but we had her since she was like 3.
Baby,
little baby, right? Little baby. Never really put, you know what I'm saying, whooped them like that, you know what I'm saying. But she lived with me, and I'm raising you. I'm paying for everything. You're a girl.
It ain't about what you paying for.
But you're a girl. We really don't. I'm saying I don't know about letting fathers whoop daughters type of deal. And the mother wasn't present, and she was a non-factor.
Oh,
so you was the mother.
So I was her mother.
I think my system froze or something.
So fast forward, teenage years, teenage girls, puberty, you know
feeling themselves,
bumping heads,
that mouth.
Not just her, but my daughter too. They, you know what I'm saying? These are my fake ass twins. You know what I'm saying? They was they're the same age. So they got in trouble together. And I decided to whoop some ass because they well deserved it. Then I got backlash from everybody about me putting my hands on her. Her mother got upset, her aunties got upset, but y'all not present.
Don't be the main one.
When I reach out and ask for a community to come together to help with these girls, raising these girls, everyone's silent. So when I take it upon myself to reprimand them or discipline them how I choose according to how they misbehave, I get backlash. So the situation depends.
Right.
If it's a messy situation, I wouldn't recommend it. But if all parents are co-parenting effectively,
It don't never.
and they have an understanding,
So,
but whooping children that aren't yours just because you want to whoop a butt, that's not.
That's what I'm about to say. But what are you getting out of? Like, this is my thing.
I wouldn't even feel right.
Me whooping somebody else's child, regardless if I'm cool with the person, if I like them or not, I'm not putting my hands on their child. If my husband told me whoop their ass, I'm gonna be like, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna wait till you get here. I checked them and said what I said, and they ain't on this. They can't play the game. They can't do this, that. But I'm gonna say, but when you get here, I'm gonna need you to reinforce what I said and put some rules down and holler at their mama, let their mama know too, and go from there. Because you have to have that communication.
right.
You get what I'm saying?
But,
So
And it's all boundaries.
yeah, I'm not gonna just whoop somebody's child because he's telling me to. Because I'm not gonna do that. That's just not me.
Like if he act up, whoop his ass.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that because my thing is you're not even here. For real, for real. You don't even know what she really did or what he really did. You just going about what I'm saying, right? So and then everybody else saying, oh nah, that ain't what happened. This is what he did or did. So I need the man of the house to come and reinforce what's going on and shut that shit the fuck down. Excuse my language. Because at the end of the day, I'm not gonna whoop nobody else's kids. I'm never gonna do that.
But as a man, like I tell anybody on this planet, I draw a line in the sand with anything breathing on this planet. And I don't care who your mama and daddy is. If you in my house and you acting a certain type of way, I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna create a relationship. We're gonna have communication. Because I was raised by, it took a village to raise a family.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was around my uncles and my aunts and around other people who my parents entrusted to know that we had same common core value system.
Mhm.
So if they saw me out of pocket, they had permission to let me snatch my ass up because I'm acting out of character for how
This
they
is your
know.
ex, but this is your ex, baby daddy, or baby mama. Is the topic. It's not family and
right, okay.
everybody raised in the village. It's not none of that.
Well,
This is me with another person. He's with another person.
Right. Kind of what we dealing with.
I'm not there. He's not there. He's not there. He told the wife. What'd he do? He did what? Whoop his ass. And she whooped his ass. Right?
Right. Exactly.
She didn't call the mama. She just whooped his ass. No. I told him, whoop his ass, whoop her ass. My daughter or something. I'm with him. He whooped my daughter ass. You feel what I'm saying? She got a daddy. So at the end of the day, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the family village thing because absolutely. That's
I'm talking about like this with my child in the house.
Disrespectful child.
Right. That's
right. But it's other ways.
All goes into the same boat.
Right, because that's where I was at because I'm dealing with a teenager
right.
who's about to be 18 in my house who I didn't father, who I only met when he was like 10 years old. And I've been active in his life since day one, and we have a great relationship. And I pray and I tell him, I pray you never cross that line of disrespect where I feel like I want to put my hands on you because I won't blink when I put my hands on you because I'm a man and I don't blink when it comes to disrespect. First and foremost, we have a level of understanding of respect amongst us as men since you started to cross this territory into grown territory because as a child, I treat you a certain way. When you start being disrespectful and start acting like you're doing some shit, then I start, okay, the rules change, player. Since you want to start going in this direction, I'm going to tell you how I treat people outside of the kids that I'm taking care of and I love and how I treat people out here for real. And you want to start joining into just being a person in my life. Let's take away the genetics or anything else. We're going to learn how to respect and treat each other. And we're going to have a good, healthy relationship. But you ain't going to think that you could do with your mama or do what you do to your daddy, or do what you do to anybody out here, because you're going to respect me. I don't care if you respect nobody on this motherfucking planet. You're going to respect me. And if I had to put my hands on you, both your parents know that you did some shit. Because they trust me to know that I ain't that type of dude. Like, I talk about it. I bring everybody involved. It's a village. Let's talk about the situation. But if somebody was to cross that line live in 3D, not somebody calling me to say to do it, but like you said, having that level of respect, like a disrespectful child is a disrespectful child. And when a child don't give you that respect that you demand as an adult, a man or woman, you gotta draw the line in the sand. Like, nah, nobody can cross this line. I don't let nobody.
Your kids can't come over here no more. Now you're drawing the line.
Right. No, not now. It's drawing the line like respect.
Yeah, I'm talking about if the female feel like the child is so disrespectful and she can't really put her hands on the child.
She should be caring for him.
Leave him at the house.
Right.
She should be going at the house. Don't bring him back over here.
So now that means the father can't see his seed.
No, he can't.
You can see, but when you leave, you take your baby with you.
Yeah, don't drop
I can't be the caregiver for them.
Right, because that's something that people do though. Like
drop them out. Yeah,
a woman living with your kids while she go run and do some shit. You might be trapping or something out the spot, and she got the other shit going on. So you post it, and the kids in the other room, and shit jump off because you just happen to be there doing what you're doing in the midst of holding her down because y'all fucking around. You holding it down. She off to work or school or whatever. So you here with the kids. And they flop off on you. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta be like, okay, call the other parent if they active and you try to get other people in. But as far as I've never heard of that situation. I've never heard nobody getting sick on somebody like an enforcer. Like that. That's traumatic. That's traumatic.
They usually give permission to their girls or they wives.
Yeah, for sure.
But that have that type of anger that the one that I want to just on demand just be the kid only for what you did. Like I'm like, man, you fucked up, your girl. You deserve to get fucked up. Like, but I'm not the enforcer. I'm gonna talk shit to you. I'm gonna try to explain to you what just happened and for you to prepare and do better next time. But I don't feel like to just go from me and you chilling in the room to you somebody calling me and say, hey, beat their ass.
It happens.
Right. I mean, but that's abuse though that's borderline crazy shit. Like, you're like, damn.
Oh, there she go. What up, sis?
Hi.
Oh,
Peace and love.
Peace and love.
Yes. So I seen that the post, I made that post on Day to Day about 3 days ago, and I seen it's like 80 comments on it. And the only thing I wanted to say is that we actually need to, as a collective tribe, as a collective community, as a collective family, we need to go over parenting. We really do, all of us.
I agree with that.
Because when things of this nature happens, it causes conflict, confusion, and somebody can really get hurt over putting their hands on somebody else's child.
So that video that you posted, I'm about to show it real quick, y'all. Just a clip of it. This the video she posted. If y'all don't know or didn't see it, some people, but this is just a clip of it. Let me show y'all real quick.
And I told him that I don't want nobody putting their hands on my daughter but me, because I'm the mother. So what makes you feel like you could do that?
Understood. First off, it was something mutual between me and the father because your daughter was being disrespectful.
She could, okay, this is my thing. My daughter's not disrespectful. And even if she was disrespectful, I told him to not let nobody, no bitch, excuse me, but really not excuse me, to put their hands on my daughter.
Okay, at the end of the day, your daughter's not disrespectful to you because you're her mother, and I guess the ways that she's learning, you're teaching her. However...
Baby, and I told him that I don't want nobody putting their hands on my daughter.
I didn't like how the baby mama came to the house either. She was a little disrespectful too, because she did come to the home a little reckless. But she then tried to make it seem like her daughter don't do that with her, but it's obvious she might, because look how you coming over here. You didn't even try to call or how to respect to tell me, okay, I'm coming over there so we can kind of discuss what's going on with her or whatever. You as the girlfriend or the wife didn't call me. You didn't have enough respect for me to call me and say, oh, your daughter over here being disrespectful.
Right.
And, you know, I just want to talk to you with her to try to see what we could, you know, do, because she be over here. And we want to know what's going on. Don't come over here with that wild shit, because I'm not one of them, right? I'm not going to argue with you about none of that. It shouldn't be to the point where you're coming to my house because you got that animosity. It seemed like to me and the way the chick was standing, it's an animosity thing, right? Mm-hmm. So that is the man. The man is the common denominator on that.
Conversation.
He's the common denominator.
Yeah.
So he has
point of interest. Point of interest means can I say something? So when you get finished, I like to make a comment. Point of interest.
Go ahead, go right now. Go ahead, Tamar.
This is my view, is that first order has to be established from the very beginning. If he's married, she's the child's mother, he's the child's father, they all should come together collectively and establish some order between all three of them in regards to that child. It's a lack of communication. It's a lack of parenting. It's a lack of understanding. So you have to start with the root, and that's with the husband, the wife, and the child's mother. That has to be established first. And then that way, the child have to have some ground rules laid down when you go to her house. If she tell you to clean up, get up, you do the same that you do over here. She's a grown woman. She's your stepmother. So you have to respect her. And then, sometimes children are manipulative. They're hurt because their father is with another woman. It's a lot of factors that goes in on this, on this level when it comes to, being a stepchild, being a stepmother. This shit ain't easy. So everybody collectively, even the child, everybody need to come together and sit down and lay down ground rules, lay down some order, establish some order.
My whole point, but I'm not going to be the wife whooping nobody's child because you're telling me to, and you're not even here. And you didn't even see what happened or what the child really did. And it could be animosity is what I'm saying. It could be so many things going on in the situation that we don't really know. We're just going by the video. And, of course, we having our opinion. But at the end of the day, I feel that even though, like I said, it got to be communication with me and the female. And me and the dad, if I know that this child is doing something that bad that I got to whoop her, we got to have a sit down.
Yeah.
We got to have a sit down, period. It got to be communication because
it didn't just pop off like this instantly. It's something that's built up, like you said.
I'm one of them people that if you coming over here and then I got the baby mama popping up at my house with the ya, and all of this and all of that, baby. Keep your baby at the house, boo-boo. Keep them at the house. We can go get the baby. We can go over there if we want to. Y'all can't come over here. If y'all can't me, if y'all can't listen, if y'all can't come to, if the man and the baby mama cannot come to some type of solution, me as the wife, and I'm trying to keep the peace, don't bring them over here. Period. Don't bring them over here. I don't care how nobody feel about it.
Well,
so we have to come to some type of common denominator with amongst all three parents when it comes to that, because I'm the peaceful parent. I want peace amongst you and your baby mama, your kids. I want the kids over here. I don't want to have to deal with that. I don't want to have to tell you not to bring them over here. You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I'm gonna need you to talk to them baby mamas and have your shit together.
Right. So but at the end
what
of
we
the
have for? Go ahead. Go ahead. You got something?
I'm only saying one more
Point of interest.
I want to know what he got to say. Hold on, because he got the right.
No, I ain't saying nothing. I was just saying point of interest.
I'm saying it's not fair for you to say that because you said you want to keep the peace, but actually that's going to create more tension in between you and your significant other because he can't bring his child over to a house that he pay bills at too, that he reside too.
So it ain't his house either then.
Yeah, it ain't his house. You know what I'm saying? He might as well get the fuck out. It's all you.
Yeah, because this is about what you care about. And you totally
putting your feelings before everybody else's.
Like, so at the end of the day, I think the root cause is like everybody keeps saying is
the man got to control it.
It's miscommunication is the root cause of everything saying. Like, but we realize that a lot of people ain't good communicators in our society. This digital technology shit got people so detached from dealing with people real life in the face shit. It's so easy to text somebody or live stream some shit or something. But when you got real life problems in your face, most motherfuckers run. They don't know how to communicate. They don't struggle with their inner voice. They get angry. And when people get angry, you can't communicate effectively.
Right.
So you got to learn how to stay calm in the midst of all the things going on to communicate effectively. And people struggle with that day to day, like your podcast is called. That's an everyday struggle. Self-control is the hardest thing on this planet.
Shout out again to the podcast Day to Day.
Sure.
What you said, Day to Day.
Because what they do is they talk at you instead of talking to you.
Right. Meet people where they at and just try to say, to get this, the beginning of the foundation of this all is let's talk. My child is going to be around the person I'm with. Your child is going to be with the person that you with. So everybody know that since we ain't together, another person is an option. So these are conversations you have before it, like you said initially, it's all about communication.
It is.
But if you have ineffective communication with somebody you had a child with,
right.
How can you magically think that shit about to get better because y'all had a child?
Right.
Like, so y'all got to work on y'all relationship for the children to learn how to communicate with each other. To be like, look, I can't keep getting angry. I want you to be a part of your child's life, but I don't like you, nigga. I don't like you, bitch. You get on my nerves. But I don't think that you should be around your child.
It's the common denominator. It's the parents of the child.
Communicate.
I'm just the wife. So I'm the wife. I'm trying to be the peacemaker.
But sometimes you got to be the facilitator to make. You might have to be the middle person.
I'm trying to be the peacemaker. Together. I'm not trying to get involved in that unless I have to.
But you already involved.
You're the wife. No, people put people in it.
No. You're the wife. You already involved.
Okay, everybody can't talk at once, right?
Well, that's why we all saying the same thing.
But don't come at me about shit. I'm talking about.
No, we talking about a wife.
I ain't talking about y'all come in here like y'all. This is what I'm saying. I'm gonna keep it real. Don't bring your child over here if y'all ain't got y'all communication. If y'all shit ain't together with amongst you and your children, don't bring them over here till y'all got that shit together.
But but my wife had a problem with her baby daddy to the point where she wouldn't speak to this nigga. She hated this nigga. He had violated her so bad. He had disrespected her so bad. He had beat her to a place so motherfucking bad that she didn't want to answer this nigga phone call. She was cool with the kids when I first got them. They was like, because they didn't have good relationships with their daddy. When they met me, they're like, you a good dude. Like, okay. They're like, would you adopt us? No joke. Her kids asked me, would I replace their daddy? And I was like, I said no. I said, no, because this nigga ain't dead. I'm not here to replace this nigga. I am here. I'm a filler. I'm like the uncle you never had. I'm a nigga that love you for real and might fuck you up in a heartbeat. But at the same time, it's going to be with love from the very beginning because I love your mama and I love y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all got a daddy. I want y'all to further y'all relationship. And I forced them to have a relationship with their daddy. I forced my wife to have a better relationship with her baby daddy. I didn't have to do that shit, but I see bullshit around me, and I can't have that shit going on. So I said, as the person, even though it wasn't my business, I said, I don't like dysfunction. I was raised in dysfunction. And I was like, I'm not going to do this shit as an adult. So even though this is an external dysfunction, this shit can't fly. You need to be able to talk to this nigga about certain shit. You need to have a relationship with your daddy, regardless of whoever the fuck he is, whether you like him or not. Y'all need relationships and y'all need this shit because you don't need to take that back.
That's my whole point. So if y'all don't have it, don't expect don't expect that if you and your children, mama, or your children's father, y'all got a bad communication. The children is gonna have a problem with that person. So y'all need to get y'all shit together before you start bringing the kids around and doing all of this and doing all of that.
So in my case, that wasn't even gonna happen.
Right. I had to manage it.
It wasn't gonna happen
at all. I
was totally against having anything to do with dude. Like he could have fell off the face of the earth, and I wouldn't even have cared at the point that I was.
They was cool with not having him around because he wasn't around because
so had he not intervened. Had he not talked to him, had he not talked to either one of us separately, you know, had he not give me a different perspective and everything, I would have, please.
You kidding? Listen, I had a couple situations where I was young and I asked my kid's father, because my kid's coming back telling me, this is what's going on. This is what's going on. She treating me this way. This is not what happened. This, that, and the other. You get what I'm saying? So I said, oh, that needs to be tight. I said, okay, I called her and I said, can we talk? And she called him on a 3-way. And I said, we need to have a sit down, right? They played me like I was on some other shit because I wanted to have a sit down. If I wanted to fight anybody, I wouldn't want to have a sit down. Okay? I was being a gentleman. I was being a lady and I wanted to talk to her with my child, with the daddy, years ago. Just to kind of to see what's going on, because I'm not gonna go by what kids always say, only because kids can just kind of say stuff only because they mad at who the person with or whatever, and they not with the mama and the daddy or whatever. So right, they play sides. So back then, I wasn't gonna allow nobody to play sides. So I called. And she called him, and I said, can we have a sit down so we can kind of talk about what's going on? Because she's saying this. They ain't want to have no sit down. They was rude and nasty because it was something against me. It was something against me. So therefore, you can't put your hands on my child, because if you do, I'm going to beat your ass now. Because now you don't want to have a sit down with me when I'm trying to sit down with you and him, and I'm trying to be the peacemaker. Now I'm going to beat some ass. And how about you can't put your hands on her either, and you the daddy, or it's gonna be some drama. That's what I was on, because y'all don't want to sit down and have a conversation with me about it. So at the end of the day, let's get it then. You had to draw a line in the sand with them. You feel me? Like this is my line in the sand with you. Right. I was trying to. I called and I said, "Can we have a sit down?" And I was young. You understood dysfunction. You understood dysfunctional. You were more advanced, and that's something that sometimes we got to put in perspective. That just because something is so easy for us and we have a understanding of a situation, we can't judge somebody else because they don't see it clear. We try to show. That's what this is about. You give people perspectives. You give some alternative thoughts to what somebody was thinking before they entertained y'all podcast. You know what I'm saying? So that's what all this is about. It's like, you don't want to bash the motherfucker for thinking dumb. Try to understand, like, where'd you learn this dumb ass shit? Who raised you? And let's making this better. Let's not get into just keep bashing motherfuckers for doing dumb shit and start trying to get to the root cause of the dumb shit and try to push somebody into positivity and just if they willing to do the work, they'll get there. Right. You know what I mean? But it's all about people willing to do the work. Like you talk about this unhealthy relationships, is because they ain't willing to do the work. Yeah, but why do I as the partner have to be the bad guy? And if I put my hands on the child.
That part easy. That's because the male doesn't have a real connected bond with the child that he's bringing over to your residence. Right. So he doesn't even know how to.
So he wants
because she knows what she's doing.
I know some niggas. I had some friends that did that. Like they baby mama would be so hateful towards my friend because they would be the kid's friend. Right. They was the fun parent. They was always got the let's go somewhere, let's do this, let's hang out, let's watch cartoons, let's do that. While the mama had to come home from work all day. Be the bad guy. You come home and be like, why your room ain't closed? You ain't got your hair right. You got the bad guy. And she gotta come in with the angry energy. So the kids gravitate to the daddy, want to be loose and let's play video games and shit. And the woman feel like she ain't getting the back from the nigga because a lot of these niggas don't know how to be real men. That's she working in her back. That's my whole point. My whole point is the common denominator is the male. Let's read some of these comments because I got a lot of comments. This is Gary Torrin. He said,
shout out to G. I see you.
He said we got our ass whooped. They need their ass whooped at times. If I take care of your child, which is our child, if we together, I will punish them as I will allow another man to do the same if he has the best intentions for the child. But how do you know that?
That's what I was about to say.
How do you even know that?
No, because sometimes they don't like the other dude and they overdo it.
How do you know that? And then it said, as a kid, I got my ass whooped by half the adults in Lincoln Heights growing up, and I got my ass whooped. Wait a minute, I'm reading comments. And I got my ass whooped when I got home. I get it, but we talking about the exes, like you said at the beginning. At the end of the day, we don't know what the other people are thinking just because they with the other person. We don't know that.
Right.
I just feel that it stems from the child's parents. They have to have some type of communication and some type of something to be able to make sure that that child is together, to be able to be at other people's houses and be able to know how to treat that other person's house or know how to act. Some children don't know how to do that because their parents is so fucked up that they see the fucked upness. It might not be a word between their parents.
Fucked upness. Hold on. Hold on.
They bring it
to. We're gonna make that a word.
Trademark.
Fucked upness.
I'm just saying.
You suffering from fucked upness.
That's all I'm saying. Sometimes they see if their parents don't have it together, how does the kid have it together to know how to act and know how to roll and do what he need to do as a child at somebody else's house or anything if the parents is not together? I don't see how that will happen. I don't see how that's ever gonna happen. I'm reading the comments, but go ahead.
Well, I wanted to say it goes right back to the beginning. It takes a village. And the reason it may not be the huge village, but families are villages.
Absolutely.
Think about it.
But
The man is the common denominator. He needs to get it together with the two sisters and so forth and so on. If it's a woman, she needs to get it together and have communication. Mm-hmm. And it does take a village. This sister or whoever she was that wrote that
was Gary.
Gary, back in the day, that's how it happened. Mm-hmm. But we in a new time now.
They don't do it like
we
that.
In a new time. I would never allow anybody to put their hand on my child.
Right. Yesterday,
you let me know. You let me know what done happened. Yeah. They've been disrespected. And believe me, if you don't like that child, you're gonna come with a different take. Mm-hmm. But you know who like you and who don't like your child.
Right.
Children do stuff.
So if you know, if you willingly know that this individual don't like your child,
don't take them over there.
They're not going over your house.
Don't take them over there. I'm gonna tell you why they taking them over there, because they want to have their time and they want to go out and kick it, and they don't want to deal with the kid, which they have the right to. But at the end of the day, I'm not never taking my child nowhere that I feel that they being disrespectful and that they're getting treated messed up. Okay, so at the end of the day, it be the main parents that's being the one that's treating the child funny, and then they make the other spouse be also the bad guy because they not around. That's what they do.
Because they don't know how to.
That's what they do because they don't know how to raise their child. Yeah. Exactly, common denominator. Common denominator.
Communication is key in
and let me go ahead.
I just want to say, as the child, I really appreciate you listening to me instead of like believing that I was this liar that everybody always told me I was. So I really do appreciate you listening to me because I was not lying, but they did make it seem like as if she's exaggerating.
I was putting my foot through throat.
She's doing this
if I had to.
And it's like for y'all to neglect the child because y'all don't like somebody else, like the mother of the child. Is
my whole point.
Ridiculous.
My whole point.
For y'all to treat this child just a tad different than everybody else because y'all don't like the mother or her or the child's demeanor.
Y'all think the child act like the mom.
You look in the mirror. You look in the mirror.
And they look in the mirror and look at her and see you.
But see, those people who think like that is messed up.
They got problems.
The selection process of the man with the women
that
he's choosing, or the woman,
the maid,
their selection process is flawed.
Right. But some people are vicious too, because they, like you said, what Grandma said. Some people don't like children, and if you don't like that child, you're going to treat that child differently.
I don't understand how you I don't understand.
I'm gonna be honest.
The point how you can say that you don't like a child.
Right, that's a child. This is.
I've been there.
Now, I've seen some disrespect.
No, I'm gonna be honest. I've done not like children. I have. I'm gonna be honest. It's a couple of children that I don't like. I'm gonna be real. It's not them. It's their parents. It's not their fault. It's the parents, right?
That'll be my thing. I think I'll be like, oh, it ain't your fault, baby. Your mama fucked up.
I would never say that to a child, but listen.
But in my head, not to the child, but in my head, like, oh,
thing. I knew.
No, the mama was cool.
I knew that it was something going on that shouldn't be going on. Number one. Number two, I just wanted to sit down and have a conversation with grown people because I was grown.
But they what?
And I felt like, okay, my daughter is saying this is what's going on. This was going on. And I know she's not lying. I could just tell, right? I could tell. My heart, my soul could feel it, right? So I'm like, okay, well, we need to just have a sit down. Right. We need to have a sit down. I called. I'm like, can I sit down and talk to you with him, with my daughter, and can we, figure out what's going on? They ain't want none of that, So it made me want to fight people then. Like, I wanted to fight the baby daddy. I wanted to fight the girl, but I didn't go there, and I didn't come off like that either because I felt like I ain't gonna waste my energy on it, right? You just can't go over there no more. Yeah. So she went somewhere else. You can't go over there no more. You get what I'm saying? That's how I get down. You can't even go over there no more because I didn't want to have to deal with that. You don't necessarily have to go over there if you got issues. So I sent them somewhere the fuck else. And so what? You know what I'm saying? If he felt like, oh, damn, I can't see my daughter or whatever, I don't know how he felt about it. We didn't have that conversation. But at the end of the day, she went somewhere else.
Right, because y'all communication wasn't good.
Because you didn't want to communicate with me. You
right, because y'all communication was flawed regardless. It takes two people to communicate because you could be an effective communicator, but if you in a situation with somebody who struggles with finding their inner voice, I mean, it takes two. I got a friend I was just talking to earlier today, and he was explaining to me, he was talking about he has a flawed relationship with his father.
Fucked upness.
Fucked upness. You know what I'm saying? And the fucked upness was that he don't know how to really be a man because at 40, almost 50 years old, the demonstrations of men he had was nothing. His mama was out here doing some crazy shit, and his daddy had to fight to get custody. Finally got custody of him and passed him off to all his sisters. Versus being a part of his life, he had a family full of sisters. So yeah, my baby mama ain't shit. So I grabbed my son and gave him to my sister. And then she passed him off to another sister. And then she passed him off to another sister. And then he ended up at the grandma's house.
They never really had him, but act like they miss him.
And they got him. Right. And so had the nigga.
Your mouth for a girl stop.
So had the nigga at the So he ended up in his grandma's house, which is grandma's house, right? His great grandma's house. He ended up in great grandma's house, and he ended up having to be there. His mama ended up being there. He ended up having to support his brothers at 13. Make a long story short, he ended up his whole life changed. He never got to enjoy life, and his daddy ended up living like literally on the same street up the block. But he wouldn't get out and fuck with him or do nothing with him. And his daddy felt like he want to blame my friend about their relationship. And I'm like, you don't even get it. Like some people don't get how the ineffectiveness of communication can create baggage in the people. Like you can do this as a child. And since he was scarred as a child with nobody really communicating or caring about him as an individual, he struggles with communication to this day. He communicates with me because I found my vulnerable side and we got a level of understanding. But anybody outside of me, it's no go. But it all boils down to communication. Like I stress this when I talk to people. I say, like,
you gotta find them words.
I spent so much time by myself trying to feel like I was misunderstood.
Find them words.
Just trying to be misunderstood. I would speak words and I felt like nobody truly felt what I was saying. Like,
but did you get your ass whooped by exes?
I was my stepmother because
she whooped that ass.
My mother was blind. My mother lost her eyesight before I turned 2 years old, and I had to leave her and go move in with my daddy and his wife. You heard me say my daddy and his wife. So I
the wife whooped you?
Yes, because this is the 70s. This ain't. I'm 50 years old now. It was different. You know what I mean? The model
is. Let me read some of these comments though.
Different.
Let me read some of these comments, y'all. It say, Thank you. It say my man disciplines Tobias, but he doesn't. This from Montoya, but he doesn't put his hands on him. He directs him. We don't need to put hands on kids. Talk to them.
Yeah,
That's absolutely
Exactly.
Yeah, or you gonna catch a case.
My whole
Because
point.
2-for-1 kids coming.
Beating them don't get
Some
them
kids you
nothing.
can't talk to and make them worse though. When you put your hands on them though. This is another comment. This says because she came to the house show, she can't handle things. Oh, right. Peacefully. Yeah, she was very disrespectful.
She came for war.
She did. She came for war. She came to fight.
And I think part of it is because
It's the daddy.
she's probably either still like the daddy, man.
They said I don't think it's lack of communication.
And
It's most definitely.
Okay, so if it's not lack of communication, what is it? Who is this? What is it? If it's not, you got to put some more to that. If you don't think it's lack of communication, it has to be lack of communication between the parents
all parties.
and all parties.
How about
everybody.
this? If it's not lack of communication, then it's lack of understanding, because that means what
It's
you're
both.
communicating
I just don't
to that
understand.
individual, they don't understand how you.
But what if they don't want to
I don't understand how the baby mama and the wife didn't know what the baby mama's understanding or how she was supposed to get the kids through. How come she told him, but how come she wasn't able to tell her? Like, how come they couldn't communicate? Why is he the in between? Because all three of y'all parents. All three of y'all need to communicate.
Every time I ain't signed up for this. Oh, you did sign up.
We got to
It
call
was
her.
even a point. It was a point.
signed up for this.
When you mess with somebody
Hold
with
on.
kids,
Right.
We got to call her. What's going on, caller? Hold on. What's going on, caller? What's going on, caller?
Nothing, just got here from work and listening to y'all conversation, and I love it. As y'all know already. And I just came and called in to give my little 2 cents on it. And I do agree. I don't. Can you hear me?
Wait a minute. I'm
Yes.
trying. Let me. Oh, they can hear you in here, but I want to make sure
Okay.
everybody can hear you on the line. So hold on.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Got it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I don't think it's okay for an significant other who you're currently in a relationship with to ever feel like they should have to whoop your child. When you bring step parents, bonus parents, extra spousal lovers, however you, that do not give you
the right
to put your hand
on
on that child, because one thing a child can't do, they can't pick their birth parents and they can't pick their step parents. So I don't think it'd be okay or beneficial for the children, because that's who it's for. You want to make sure it was beneficial for the child. You don't know what that may carry. If you're not loving me, feeding me, making sure I'm okay, if I don't feel loved by you, how dare you harm me because you're married to my mother or you're married to my father? That don't give you the right to lay hands on me. And as I said before, only time anybody should put their hands on my child is to pray for them. That is it. If that child needs to be disciplined, I'll do it myself out of respect for my child. I don't want my child to feel like they're violated. One person's strength is not the same as another. You know, if my child is being disrespectful, that's my job to get my child back in line, not yours.
But when you can show them to be a teenager, it's easy to say when they're super little.
So that's good when they little, but what about when they're a teenager
and they about to be grown?
That same thing, because if I got control over my household, my child is already going to know not to be disrespectful in my home, and that includes everybody that's in it. You know, that's just upbringing. That's just raising. A teenager definitely don't need to put hands on, because you're not really teaching them anything. You're just teaching them violence.
Yeah.
You got to get mind control over a teenager. They could communicate a lot more. You got to understand a teen mind is the best thing to help them. Whooping their butt toughens them. It don't help them. It just toughens them up. It get them so angry where they act out in rage, because that's what you're teaching. And we teach them, I'm whooping you because I love you. That's not true.
That ain't true.
So what you saying now? A hard head don't make a soft ass no more?
I think you're
a hard head, a hard ass.
I think you're brain fucking kids. That's just how I feel. You're telling them to take punishment, and I'm doing it because I'm doing this out of love. No, you're doing it because you're angry because you can't control your own emotions. So you're going to go get a belt because if I had to whoop your ass, I don't need to go get a weapon. A belt is a weapon. A switch is a weapon. An ironing cord, stitching cord, all those are weapons.
I got beat with all of those. My bad.
I'm trying to tell you, but you see, they phase all that out because they see it's not effective, and some parents don't have control where they beat their children. It was no longer a whooping; it was a beating. It was no line drawn of what was too much. You know, so when you're walking around with whips, just because they did it, don't mean it's okay. You going to school with whips on you. That don't make you feel good. I could remember getting hit with an iron cord and seeing the marks on my legs. I felt like my grandmother actually, I felt like she was the enemy to me. Why would you do this to me? Even though I acted up, but I was better taught talking to you.
Anybody put their hands on me, I was trying to figure out how they could die.
But as a kid. It do get you enraged, and it taught me anger. It taught me, every kid that I know, when they got a whooping, when they went to their room, they messed that room up. They tore up something. They took that anger out on something.
Somebody saying we're not saying abuse. No, we're not saying abuse. But at the end of the day, this is you telling. It's abusive to the kid's mind.
But that's what I'm trying to say. And the reason why I would never put a whooping on somebody else in my household, I don't know what your self-control is. Men have previously knocked a young man out. Men have went to the body of a young boy, and that's what make them act out.
Broke their ribs.
This is the thing. Yes, and this is the thing. When a young man get his ass whooped, and I don't care, I'm saying whether it's by his father, and this is very important. When a young boy get whooped by a father or a stepfather, only thing that young boy is thinking about is whooping his ass when he get old enough. He's waiting.
How can you say that as a woman when you ain't never been a man? Like, that is just such a broad statement as a man.
Wait. Listen.
How can you say that? I mean, your perspective is your perspective, and we don't deny what you're saying. But damn,
it's not to take offensively. It's facts. What I'm saying is, when I said a young boy, this is what I compared it to. When a young boy is whooped by a father or a stepfather, he's not listening to him. What he's waiting is for his day when he get big enough where he can hit his father back or that stepfather. He wants to hurt him back. He's not teaching him anything. The best way that a man can reach another man is mentally. You have to speak to them. You have to still respect that child. It's not me attacking.
Not physically.
It's not me attacking the man saying my statement. It's facts.
But as women, like being a man is seeing so many men raised by women, in that perspective being put on a man. Because I was raised by a man. I wasn't raised by my mama. My mama lost her eyesight before I turned 2, so I had to go live with my mama and my daddy and his wife. And to hear what you say, and I don't knock nothing from what you say, but that's not the only perspective.
And I put it in there.
No. I'm not saying it's the only perspective. I'm just saying it's facts. A young man getting beat on as a mother, say this is not his father, and she keep calling him to scold this young boy. Every time he gets in trouble, this man is putting his hands on him, getting a belt. You know what I mean? You think this little boy is coming out, okay, let me be good tomorrow because I don't want him. Yeah, when he little, but when he gets older.
But when you got a man that only
he's doing push-ups,
red locks, it's scrolling at the bottom, and I put it in the
but at the same time, if you sitting there and thinking, if you messing with somebody and their natural first instinct is to put their hands on your child or even entertain that concept as the first line of defense about a act that you don't agree with, then you messing with the wrong person. It has nothing to do with the child or the children. It has to do with the selection process.
That's all factual, but it's off topic. What we're talking about is why you should not allow and why this is not okay. Because the young men of today are different from the young men of yesterday.
Yeah.
So they are angry.
They are
very angry individuals.
They definitely soft.
They're emotional. When you say angry, you mean emotional. You got all these men out here emotional.
You can't redirect them, but look what they got in front of them. They got another man that was beat by his stepfather. I mean, it's just like a generational thing. They're only acting out what they were taught. So that's why they coming in here calling them little punk niggas and, you know, cussing that on me. All that's too much.
Okay, so listen. Let me ask you this. What about a situation where the female is raising the kids in the household and she calls the father over to the household to chastise the child, knowing she has a whole relationship with somebody else, and you have to come over and govern that household that you're not accustomed to? You the daddy.
Yeah, but that still don't mean he should go over there and beat the kid. He still should be able to talk to his kids and have an understanding.
If he talked to
everybody
him,
talking at once. Hold on, y'all.
If he still went over there and he talked to him and the conversation didn't register like it was supposed to, so he had to put hands on his own child in her house, and he doesn't reside there in her house, that will create a wedge between the son and the father because you came over here where I live at.
But at least she's not letting.
Hold on.
You clicked over. You clicked.
Like me as a bonus parent, I'm gonna love you. It's not my job to whoop you. I'm here to assist both parents, the mother and the father of the biological parent.
We got another caller on the line as well. Not to cut you off, Lethea. Absolutely. Go ahead and finish what you're saying, boo. Finish what you're saying.
I'm just gonna answer. I think that was David's question. But as a bonus parent, I'm here to love on you. So if your mom comes to our house to whoop your butt, I can respect that. I can respect that because that's what this mother and that mother feel is appropriate for this child. And when this child needs love, I'm still gonna be here. But as far as putting my hands on them, that's the responsibility of the parents. That's something they gotta come together and say what's acceptable and what's not. So if this father or this mom tell me it's okay to whoop my child, I'm going to look at them like something's wrong with her. Why is it okay for me to whoop your child? You don't even know me like that.
That's why
you love me as a relationship. You love me as a relationship. She loves me because I'm taking care of her child. But why would you allow somebody else to do that to your child when you're not present?
Oh, that's my whole point.
Beginning of when I said like it depends on the relationship.
Yes, love you. That's my whole point. That was my whole point of it, though. Love you so much.
Thank you for calling in. We appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you for calling in, my love. Yes. What next caller? What's going on, boo? Hello? Turn your phone down. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, you on live. What's up, Red Locks?
What's up, baby doll? What's up? Okay, I just want to say this. I think when back in our parents and grandparents' time with the switches and the stuff like that, I think there might have been like kind of like learned behavior from maybe slavery days or something like that, because I've been hit with a switch, I've been hit with a belt, you know what I'm saying? And I used to be like, what the hell, why can't you just talk to me? Like, you know what I'm saying? I was never a bad child. But as I became a teenager, I wouldn't say I was out of hand, but you know how we be testing the waters, because I have a teenager. And you know how we be testing the waters, and sometimes it'd be like, oh, it happened for real? Like, you know what I mean? So I've been yoked up.
But this is the thing. So this is the thing. You would give permission for your dude or your husband or significant other to put his hands on your daughters and your sons?
No, because this is what it is with ours and our situation. My children have never done anything to the point where I have to physically like inflict pain on you. Now, my 8-year-old, sometimes she can be real spoiled and she hard-headed, and sometimes it's like, hey, and I get tired of hey, and sometimes she might, you know what I'm saying, need a little whooping every now and again, but it's not nothing that she gets often. I have 5 children. I can probably count on 2 hands how many times all 5 of them have had a whooping. I never went. I take that one time. One time was with a belt, but that was with my boy.
But the thing is it okay for that person to tell you it's okay to whoop your child?
If you are in a relationship with someone and y'all have been in a relationship for a very long time, and you have been around this child since they were,
I'm still not gonna do it.
Knee high. And you wait a minute. Let me explain it.
No, I ain't saying. I'm just saying to me personally. But yeah, I get what you're saying. So yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. If me and my spouse and my child and my children have been around my spouse since they were born, and he has helped raise and helped make the decision making and financially and loving and everything, that there's an exception to the rule, because I have a stepmother. And thank God that if anybody was ever out of line, you know what I'm saying, we might have got popped every now and again. You know what I'm saying? We might go, oh, she popped me, and I'm like, what? Because my mother and my stepmother had an understanding. They had a relationship with each other.
Yeah.
Right. I didn't beat your child. I smacked your child in the mouth. I didn't beat your child. I just popped your child.
It was nothing but love. She knew that.
But you know that now that it was love. Yeah.
Yeah, she knew that.
Yeah, so it was like I was like two sisters, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The children. So there was no. So the question to us was, what did you do? Oh, she would be. What did you do? And she's like, yeah, I did it because she blah blah. She's like, now see, you know what I'm saying? So, but in that situation right there on the viral video, I'm the one who said that communication is not the issue.
Oh, that was you?
Those 3 people. Yeah, that was me.
So what was your what? Okay.
Those 3 people are already set in a certain mind frame. Whether it came from their upbringing or whether it came from how they decided to be as they got.
Yeah, but you wouldn't know that though. You can't say that. You can't say that was from their upbringing because we don't know them people. It's just a video.
I said whether it had been from their upbringing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because we can raise our children to be the best, but they're still going to have their own personality once they reach a certain age and do whatever they want to do.
Facts.
I do believe that the stepmom, the wife, she should have called the dad and be like, hey, you need to talk to her. You're over here being unruly, this, that, and the third. I see 3 people that have a lack of communication, a lack of understanding, and like Imai Cameron was saying, there is animosity. Like he was saying, there is animosity.
You just said lack of communication, but you said it wasn't communication, so I'm confused now. Because you just said it was a lack of communication.
I'm saying I don't think communication would work with them 3. And the reason why I'm saying I don't think communication would work, when I say it's not communication, that's what I meant. Communication is not going to work for those 3 people because he has it in his mind that she can do whatever she wants because she's my wife and she's over here and I gave her permission. And the mom was like, nah, she can't. So it was 3 different mindsets.
It was.
And I don't think that these 3 people would ever be able to come to.
But that's lack of communication,
that's
though.
The 2 people.
Yeah, that's lack of communication.
The third person can't come in like we had talked about earlier. It's hard to.
You can say lack of communication. Some people don't know how.
We spoke of that earlier. We spoke of that earlier. Right.
That's what we said.
Personally, I would categorize that lack of communication because lack of communication can be where I text you and you text me back. And I don't text you back for 3 more days. I'll be like, hey, I text you 3, 4 days. I asked you a question. You're like, oh, my bad, I forgot. And then you still don't respond. That can be a lack of communication.
So listen, boo. On the whole, when the video started, though, since we talking about the video, the husband didn't even know that she was coming over there. Number one, that's lack of communication because she didn't call him and tell him that she was coming. She only went by what the daughter said. And then she came at them at their home. All of that is number one, lack of communication. I don't care what nobody say. Everything is lack of communication because nobody talked to each other. Right. She just popped up.
She popped up. You do it. Whether you
came ready for war. Let me ask you this. How can you communicate with a wall?
With who?
Talking to a wall. I'm expecting for a wall.
It's like you're talking to a brick wall.
But it might not have been if she would have called her. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
We just don't know the whole.
We just going about a video.
She talking about a specific situation.
Right,
Her,
that's what I'm
what she
saying.
talking about, what you can hear her talking about.
She said, he gave me permission to whoop her. Right? So it doesn't matter if the mama came over there or not. The daddy gave her permission.
Can't hear it.
She looked on the phone, she got more texts, so she just.
But he don't think he's at fault. So trying to explain to him that he was wrong is not going to register to him because he thinks this is my child, this is my house, this is my wife. I can discipline and she can discipline.
No, well, how about he just?
Is on the same page.
Well, how about he just don't?
That's still communication.
But what about if he just don't have a good controlling relationship with his daughter, and his daughter act a certain type of way, and he more like her friend, her confidant, and all that, and his new girlfriend is got caught in the middle because he got a dysfunctional relationship with his daughter. He more like a friend and a parent, and the other woman trying to be a parent. So when she over here, she don't like responsibility and rules from a woman because she used to only person. Her mama tell her what to do, nobody else tell me what to do, and my daddy treat me like he is friend. So I have a miscommunication. I have an understanding. So it's versions to this story that you're saying. It all boils down to not having effective communication. Just because you're not good at it, don't mean that it ain't needed. You need to learn some shit. Everybody look at YouTube and all that shit. Like you need everybody. If you ain't good at communicating with whomever you're dealing with, then maybe you need to look up effective communication.
Yeah. That's what, because the way you saying it is saying it's not communication, but you keep saying everything that you're saying is pertaining to communication. Is what I'm saying.
Right.
Like what you're saying, what I'm hearing from you and your conversation is everything pertaining to communication.
Well, listen, how can you communicate? Okay, if you're, let me ask you a question. If you're deaf, right? If you're deaf and I'm speaking to you and you don't understand what I'm saying, that's a lack of communication, right?
No.
That's a lack of communication.
No, that's ineffective communication.
You don't understand. What I'm saying is that these three people, do not have the smarts to be able to sit down and talk to each other, because you can see the animosity between the three. They don't have the sensibility to sit down and to even convey.
That's because they haven't healed and whatever trauma that they have.
But it's a lot of people that hear what you're saying and that understand what you're saying. Go ahead. What you haven't healed? You understand what she's saying?
I totally get what she's saying. She's saying that those three people have gone deaf. She even used the connotation of deaf because they will never hear. Just like they're not going to get it. I don't care if you holler it in their ear. They're not going to hear it. That's just like Dead Jacob is what we used to call it back in the day. I don't care what you said to that person. They didn't get it. And that's where the people you were talking about earlier, you even said that. They wouldn't even have a meeting with you.
Because they was deaf to the situation.
They deaf. They don't want to hear nothing.
See, now I wasn't getting that from that. I wasn't getting that from that.
Nothing.
But as effective communication.
Oh, she's talking about thank you, Ma. Thank you, Ma. Hey, I wasn't getting that from that. I wasn't getting that from that.
I called it right away.
Right, but
she said I called it right away.
Right, but thank God for the
yeah. Hey, thank goodness, because I wasn't feeling that. I'm like, wait a minute, that don't make sense, because it still boils down to communication. But when you think about it, now I know what she's saying, because she's saying even though you try to speak to a person, they still deaf to the situation. Because got you. Red line. Yeah.
Anyway, that's how
I took that something totally different.
But for me, I had that situation where my wife was deaf for me about her relationship with her baby daddy. She was deaf. Like, she was like, anything I said about her having any type of interaction with this nigga was like, me and her had beef. And I'm trying to just make everything more cordial, because I came into some toxic shit from the beginning.
duck dude.
So she was effectively trying to avoid somebody, and I'm like, well, we can't do this forever. We can't do this forever because I'm a forever nigga. I said forever when I got you. I said rest of my life I'm cool, so that means I gotta absorb all your drama.
Don't be like I was trying to like
dodge
dude or nothing like that.
No, she wasn't dodging, but
I had an understanding was if my
I got you.
My superpower is if I don't deal
I wasn't getting that.
I don't deal with you. You don't get to see me. You don't get to talk to me. You don't get nothing from me. You don't get none of you get none of my energy. Period.
So Red Lock said, shout out moms for understanding what she was saying.
Yeah.
Because I like to argue and I wasn't feeling it.
I know you do.
And what she was saying. But now that you kind of put it in perspective, I already said that at the beginning.
Right.
I just didn't say blind.
We all are saying that.
Yeah, we all basically saying the same thing you saying too.
It's a different analysis.
In a different way. That's
Yes.
And
you know I like to argue nicely though. It ain't nothing personal. Like,
but sometimes
you my boo.
I said, let me sit down.
You know you my baby sis. Don't worry about that.
But you know sometimes.
My words. That's why I started making little references like if I'm talking to a wall.
Wait a minute. You said I was deaf. I was deaf, wasn't I? I was being deaf.
Yeah, you were being like the wall.
You were definitely on the deaf ear.
Hey, I love you.
The inference that was talking about not about the boys not being disciplined. Now I do put differences in my children, my girls and my boys. What applies to the girls don't apply to the boys, and they may seem messed up, but it's a method.
No, we all got roles.
I do believe that with boys, sometimes you have to. That's why in certain cultures, when the child becomes a certain age,
13,
the child goes and lives with father.
Yeah, 13.
Or the child goes and is full time with the father and weans off of the mother. I think sometimes we make our sons soft.
Real.
That's facts.
And emotional.
You got a whole generation of them.
Right.
They soft.
It's a whole generation.
That's why they're killing. That's why they're killing the good world.
Hey, that's another topic. Oh my goodness, they start going in over here. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
I do believe that if you have an active male in your, whether you're with the father or not, if y'all have a healthy relationship, I do believe that at a certain point in time, at a boy's life, he should be with his father because we can't do nothing. We're here to nurture.
I totally agree.
And the sauce in you. You know what I'm saying? And not on purpose, but that's just our nature. So when it comes to disciplining a boy, yeah, they may need a little
They need that's the divine order.
Oh, that's another topic. Send me that. Hey,
It's called
that's another topic right there, boy.
Right.
That's a whole.
So what about when
a lot of women don't feel like that? I'm not giving you my son. Yeah. You're not about to have my son. That's my son.
But that's what she's saying. So what you saying?
I said, so what about when the daughter goes to the father?
Hold on.
What about when the daughter goes to the father?
When the daughter goes to the father.
How is he supposed to?
When the daughter goes to the father, the father is not trying to be, and let me say this, let me pick my words carefully. The father is the first love to the daughter.
Mm-hmm.
A daughter and a father's relationship is different than a father and a son.
Right.
A father and a daughter, that's her first love. So he has to come and talk to her in a different kind of way. I don't think that spanking and whooping and belts and stuff like that when she acts out should be in you know what I'm saying, should be part of the punishment. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
I totally agree.
When it shows,
I agree.
I ain't never do that.
I did hear somebody say that they'll start to think like, okay, this is a form of love. Sometimes people's mind work differently. Children's mind work differently.
Yeah, because if she getting raised up with her daddy whooping her, she gonna get into a relationship with a boyfriend beating her up.
That's love.
Right.
She gonna think that he only
because she gonna think that's love because that's her daddy. That's her first love. Man, that's another
topic. Hey man, this is. Okay, go ahead. Hold on. Let me let her finish real quick before we get out of here. Go ahead, boo.
I just want to make this point because I did hear the caller and she made some good points that actually made sense of what I was saying. When you got 3 parents, what I saw was 3 parents. And when she said there was no communication, there was plenty of communication. You got to see what's being said without being said. You have to understand when that mother showed up, and I'm sure she showed up to everybody else disrespectful. But what I saw was something different. I saw that she must have communicated with the father first, and he did not pay attention or adhere to her wishes of how she wants to raise her child. They didn't come to a happy medium. And what happened is he involved his spouse, which he shouldn't have. So he didn't run his household like he should have. And the wife was on board because the husband said to do so. But with all these 3 communicating, what wasn't okay is the child did not feel okay with this woman whooping her butt. She didn't say, Daddy said for her to whoop me. What she knows is, Mama, this woman whooped me, which made you feel like my child has been violated. That's why she showed up at the doorstep, not confronting the father. She confronted the wife because she feels now I don't talk to him.
But she didn't talk to her.
Talk to you. This is not okay for me. She's here with y'all.
You should have happened before this. It should have happened way before you get to that.
Let her finish.
To draw the line. A parent has the right to draw the line somewhere. And when it comes to hitting, she's damn right of how she showed up to that door. Because the father, he did not listen. So when I'm listening to my brother in the back, what's his name? With the white, the one I like with the locks.
Sam.
No, I got no locks.
Sam. When I hear Sam,
she said
what
wife
I
with the
heard
locks.
Sam say,
She said wife with the locks.
no, the wife with the locks.
Oh.
Yeah, wife with the locks.
They talking about
They know he ain't got no
So
hair.
listen to this. So when Sam spoke, I heard it. And what I heard was, without him saying it, he said, I live with my father and his wife. He didn't say I live with my stepmother, my bonus mom. He didn't feel the love to put her in the mother's position.
But I had to call her.
You said right.
To put her. But what I'm trying to say is he's not the only one that feels that way. And when I see a mama, I'm a respect the mama. When I see your mom, I call her mama. I call her mama because she respects me. I respect her. But that's what's going on. When that mother showed up to that door, I know everybody said, yeah, she was out of line. She was disrespectful. She was only disrespectful because she already had communication with the father that he neglected to adhere to, and that's wrong. So when a wife stepped in as a bonus wife, as a bonus mom, she should have said, until y'all get together, I'ma still continue to love this child. Y'all do this. I'ma step back. It's okay to step back as a wife. It's okay to do that, to say, I'm not comfortable with this because y'all ain't comfortable yet.
No, but at the end of the day,
And you not gonna.
But the child got caught up in the web that the father could have handled.
But that's
I feel like that baby, if the father felt like that baby needed to be booked, he should have did it
Himself. I agree. I agree with that.
I agree.
I am all right.
When that woman showed up at that door, I know everybody felt she was disrespectful. But in my eyes, I felt the father was disrespectful because he should have listened. I mean,
But she should have, as the mother, she should have talked to not just the father, but the wife.
That's all it is. That's what we said.
But she didn't communicate with the other wife. She didn't communicate with the wife.
She was cool with just talking with the baby daddy.
She was telling the daddy what I want.
And then daddy be don't feel like
Fuck you, if you listen to me, that's why I don't fuck with you.
Wait a minute. What she just said? She just said it wasn't.
The mother's job is to speak to the biological father. The biological father position is to communicate that, like, hey, she's not comfortable with that. I'm gonna respect that. So yes, that was his job to communicate that to his wife, not the mother. But when she showed up at the door, it came from her already communicating.
He's not doing it because he
Nobody
manipulated.
respected the child. Nobody
you don't do
respects
it,
the child.
I
be trying to hear what this bitch got to say
That's
for
why you
real.
don't allow step parents to step in.
A lot of our problems.
I don't. I'm gonna say
Same with
something.
doing little girls' hair.
I would have
Same
said,
thing.
you know what? I would have said, you know what? I didn't know that. And
Doing
I
too much.
apologize. Tell your child she wouldn't have to worry about it again. But if she get out of line, I'm going to call you. Because I'm here to support both of you. A stepmom just don't support that father, man. I don't know why everybody
That's
feel
very
like
true.
a stepmama always
Like
got to get
period.
into it with the mom. No, I'm going to carry on what you carry on at your house. Because I'm not going to allow your baby to come over here and do something you don't allow her to do at home.
Mm.
So I'm going
I don't.
You're saying that because you are a sensible person.
Right.
Right.
You can't expect everybody to think like you.
I'm gonna tell you how I failed from the beginning. The very first thing when we break up with our baby's daddy and the husband, the very first thing that we say, and don't lie, the very first thing that we say is, you better not have my child around that business.
Not me. I ain't never cared about
that.
Nah, that
I heard that so much.
Everybody ain't like that.
I don't agree. I don't agree.
I'm not saying y'all said. I'm not saying when I say don't lie, I'm just saying this is what we hear 95% of
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I agree.
It's in the ghetto one handbook.
I can see the mother.
Ratchet 101.
Baby 305.
It was an issue before you started.
And respectfully, I don't mean to cut you off. I don't think that's the issue. I think we're a little further in because she spoke to the father. That's what her case. That's what I'm saying. That's why she said don't have her around her feet. She said, no, I want to work my child myself. Only thing you got to do is let me know and I'll get her. Right. And let's make it clear. Let's make this clear.
Is that rational though?
But she never said, you beat my child, you went overboard. She never said that. But he did say, I told him, he did say, I told him that I don't want no bitch. And that goes back to what I just said.
Right.
What Ima just said.
Because it's a lot of emotion in
there
it.
was animosity
Yep.
from the get-go. So it was a fail. It was going to be a disaster. So from the get-go, in the mama's energy, the mother's energy was, and she had that right. I know she did. No, and that's fine. And she does. She absolutely has that right. And when I said that right, it was her delivery. It was her delivery. What she said.
Okay. Wait. Can I interject? Can I interject real quick? Nikki, hush. Real quick. I'm gonna say this. Like I said before, if you are in a relationship with someone else and you want your child is to come over to this person's house, and there's 3 parents now. There's 3. There's no longer just you and the biological father. It might be 4. Because I've been in a situation where my children's father got with someone else, and I say I love my kid's bonus mom, and he ain't even with her no more, but she's still their bonus mom. You hear me? Right. My son still go over to her house, and she ain't even dealing with the daddy no more. But everybody's
like that too.
Everybody's not evolved. Everybody's not evolved like that. But what I think,
that this man should be, we should not be allowed to put their hands on that child because you keep running back and forth to all these women. A woman's got to put her foot down when it comes to her child. I don't care who you with.
But I
respect my child enough to, if something goes wrong, call me.
I feel
call me. My baby daddy gonna already know.
But I feel
Can I say this before we get off here? Because we gotta get off of here. Can I say this real quick? We gonna have to do this again, but can I say this? My family should know to call me before they put their hands on my kid, and we can communicate and go from there. But it is never like that. It's always different, right? So at the end of the day, it's not right to put your hands on somebody else's kids.
Don't bring them over here if you want me.
Y'all have to get yourself. I understand that. That's what I said. Y'all have to. But if y'all don't have y'all lives together, where y'all children will know how to act at the mother's house and know at the baby at the ex's, then y'all have to communicate amongst each other. It steals from the parents.
Right. It always falls on the parents because if the parents
it steals from the parents.
Ain't
of
nobody
the child.
gonna ever be able to say that you ain't know how I felt about nothing. Now, if my daddy's in a shit with another woman and I don't want her to put her hands on my kids, I'm not gonna go through him to tell her nothing.
You have to.
No, I don't.
You gotta talk to her.
I'm talking to her.
Right.
I'm gonna talk to her woman to woman because I'm gonna have my kids in your care.
I don't know.
So we have an understanding. I want to communicate with you to let you know. Don't do this.
Right.
And she's gonna be the one.
Because I'm drawing a line in the sand, like we talked earlier.
We about to get out of here.
Podcast. We said you draw a line in the sand with anybody.
Hey, y'all. Hey, this is a good topic. Hey, this topic. Hey, when I say this is serious, this is serious because everybody have their own opinions and
experiences.
Right.
So at the end of the day, though, I feel that if you're not the parent of that child, then you have to, even if you've been around that child, you have to work on effective communication with both parents, everybody. You cannot just put your hands on a child. It's so much shit that can still within that. Like,
or walk away from it and just let other people say, well, I'm going to let them deal with that. No,
it depends upon the severity of it. You ain't even got to put their hands on it. But bust down and do these 200 squats though, boo.
Yeah.
Shit like that.
Listen, at the end of the day,
they ain't going to do it though. They going to look at you
mama
like,
or the baby daddy can say, my child not coming over y'all house.
Yeah.
Because of this. And now you're creating another type of situation.
Another division.
The violence
me and my
and
that child. Yeah, and it's fucked up.
And when you recognize dysfunctional communication, everybody involved needs to be willing to say, everybody needs to be the bigger person sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, it ain't about who right and who wrong. I just need this shit to work. I don't give a fuck about right and wrong. Like I tell my wife all the time, I don't want to be right all the time. I don't give a fuck about right and wrong. Who the fuck? I ain't keeping score. I just want this shit to just flow a certain type of way so I can get the other shit in my life and try to get to a comfortable point. But as long as y'all dysfunctional, as long as this person's dysfunctional, that's not helping me out because I'm the third wheel and I'm causing dysfunction. And I'm like, y'all bringing this shit to my shit that I'm trying to get comfortable. So somebody got to be the bigger person when you got dysfunction on multiple levels. It takes one person. Because I was the odd wheel. Somebody has to be that person. You know what? Somebody got to be that big person sometimes. And I feel like I was told as a young person, like, everybody got to be somebody. When is your day to be somebody? When is your day to be that bigger person to say, okay, I'm going to get these two motherfuckers to get better, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to make sure that their communication is better, so I ain't got to deal with this shit as a third leg.
I want to, yes, I feel you, and I want to, and you have to show the kids, but you want to have to show the children that you can communicate with
that child
other parents and y'all a union.
Y'all become a united front.
They can't do nothing.
Right, can I say this before we get off of here? At the end of the day, you have to be a partner with everybody if you have children. Right. You have to be yes, y'all have to coexist. Y'all have to be partners. Y'all have to communicate. You can't just put your hands on a child because the parent told you to do it. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter if it's been since they was a kid.
Kids out of control now.
They are out of control.
Respect is respect,
but they're gonna respect a certain person as well.
And we talk about children and adult. And we demand that between children and adult, because when a child starts transforming to try to be adult-like, you got to show them adult shit. You can't keep treating a fucking 17-year-old like you do a 10-year-old. Exactly. It's a different rules and regulations. So that's what we got to get from the beginning. It's like, it's stages to this shit. And when you were an 8 or 10 or 12-year-old, I'm going to treat you a certain type of way. When you 14, 15, and 16 doing different shit, and I've been an active part of your life for however many years, and you choose, but me as a person I'm going to communicate with you like, look, you're transitioning. You're going into that. You're not my child till you a grown adult out here. And I got brothers and sisters and cousins I've been known for 40 plus years that I don't fuck with. You only been on this planet for 15 years, motherfucker. You only been on this planet for 17 years. On some real shit. Like, since you want to start getting into this grown shit, I'm gonna show you that I've been treating you a certain type of way and you ain't appreciating it.
At the end of the day, they're not gonna appreciate the step parents because the step parents ain't gonna get that much love from that. But see, me and my husband, just real quick before we get off here, me and my husband had a situation with the children where they was feeling away, but they call me Ma. They love me. I love all the children, even though we had a situation and they was grown and all that. I love all my husband's children. Those are my children because I'm married to him, right? So at the end of the day, I'm married to him. Listen. But I'm gonna communicate with the baby mamas. I had situations where I couldn't, but I want to. I want to communicate with you. I want to communicate with you. I don't care. I love your child. There's no way I could communicate or not communicate with these baby mothers without and loving the kid. How can I be having a problem with these mothers and I love the child? It doesn't work that way. I respect the mother and I love the child. So I'm gonna communicate with the parent. If you don't want to communicate with me, that's okay. But we're going to have to communicate when it comes to these children if they're being over here. Period. So at the end of the day, you have to have that. If you don't have it, then what type of control, like what?
It's understanding. Like we talked about earlier, it's about understanding. Like
and communication. Like there's no way.
With each other.
There's no way. There's no way.
It goes all the way back to Dionne Warwick when she made that song. I believe it. Who said it? Was it Dionne Warwick or Whitney?
I believe the children are our future.
Oh, yeah.
Whitney.
That was Whitney.
That was Whitney.
If the children are our future,
yeah.
That means it's up to us to install the knowledge that the children need.
The parents.
Also,
the parents.
A motherfucker saying some shit, and I thought I'd take this to the grave. I say, teach your children young what you learned old. Meaning the shit that we learning right now. Mm-hmm. We talk to our children about. We try to talk to them about, say, look, you might not understand nothing about this shit right this second in your life. But I'm trying to prepare you for some other shit that I'm still learning as a motherfucker. Like, as your parent, I'm going to tell you that I'm still learning to the day I die. I look forward to that. So I want you to continue a lifetime of learning and willing to change and adapt and learn who you are because you are going to be a different nigga than who you are in 10 years. Facts. You ain't gonna want to do the same shit that you did 10 years ago.
Can I say this before we get off of here? I'm a step parent, but I don't feel that I'm a step parent. I'm a mother.
You're a parent.
I'm a mother.
Don't disrespect your position.
I'm a mother. I'm a mother.
Your position.
No, I'm a mother. I'm not a step parent. I'm a mother. My husband's kids is my children, right? I'm a mother. And I love the fact that my husband's kids call me mom. That some of them don't. They call me Hosh, but that's okay because they know who their mama is. I'm not trying to replace none of that. I'm trying to combine that. I think it's a beautiful thing when kids have two mothers and two fathers. So if you can communicate together with two parents, two mothers, two fathers, that is amazing for children. That is amazing to have that for children.
It's definitely amazing, but the respect level has to be going good on both sides for the kids that don't live in a household opposed to the kids that was raised in a household, because at the end of the day, the mother's kids, if you're in that household, gonna always have an advantage. As far as being able to be there, as far as being able to do whatever without no leniency.
I don't get what you're saying.
The father's kids always gonna have to deal with some type of complication. They might not be able to come over. They might not be able to do this, any of that and the other. But most of the mother's kids.
But men need to quit having kids with 1 million females. That don't even make sense.
It does make sense.
That shit ain't gonna be the same. It ain't gonna be the same.
If the mother has kids,
we about to get off here.
Her kids can get away with whatever, but the father's kids can't.
I don't know about that.
I know about that. That's been real.
About that.
They show favoritism with their own kids at a certain point. Period. Because they don't know the father's kids like they know their own. So they show favoritism and they let it handle.
I think it go both ways.
It's very difficult for a woman to treat children that aren't hers the same as she treats other children.
It's very difficult.
It's difficult. Mm-hmm. It takes a lot of thought and intention to do that, because we love on our children a particular way. These children are of us, and they act just as we do. When you have a child that's not yours, they have tendencies that aren't your tendencies.
Mm-hmm.
They do things that you wouldn't expect. Your children know. Your children know how not to be out of pocket. My kids would never.
Right.
But this child does. It might, you know what I'm saying? Because if my child did that, I'm going to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Hey,
that's you said some shit. You said some shit. We about to get off of here though. You said some shit. You most definitely said it. That's facts, y'all. It's day to day.
It's big facts.
It's day to day podcast, y'all. We about to argue offline.
We're gonna argue.
We about to argue offline, but tune in to Day to Day Podcast. Say, hey y'all, we about to get off here. Tune in to Day to Day Podcast, y'all. It's free 99. Day to Day, DA number 2 DA podcast and populate. Tune in, watch it on YouTube, watch it later. But we're gonna have to come back on this because this is a major topic when it comes to the children, and you have to be a united front, period. On both sides.
Yeah,
on both sides. And that's my whole point of it. You have to be a united front on both sides of it. If you're not, then it's not gonna work with the children. And I'm still not gonna whoop nobody else's children.
We ain't gonna whoop nobody else's children, but you gotta understand the fact that sometimes the children cause the problems in the relationship.
Exactly.
They do.
But sometimes it be because the parents ain't on the same page.
Yeah.
And that's what they say each other against each other. Yeah.
So then the child's right way.
Get clones on your phone, that's a nanobot. He's singing mass for the task. Panama, you niggas big ratting and speaking big Latin. Who gon' reveal and unconceal what they hear rapping? That ain't no sound error, it's a clown error. You gotta get the rock a wig as a gown wearer. And sipping witches fruit, that's what these bitches do. Bring out the bitches till you niggas turn the bitches too. I must confess, ain't no real niggas left. My educated guess is all us real niggas left. A fake was gon' survive.